Hello and welcome to another video of Emily's channel. Well, it's not, it's my channel, but you should definitely check out Emily's channel and subscribe. So today, this is another chess video. It is quite a long one, about 46 minutes, 47, maybe 48 even, depends how long this intro is. But I hope you enjoy. It's really something that you just put on your boards and you need to watch something just to kill time, or if you just love chess and want to watch it. I don't recommend you watch it all because that's bad for your eyes and for your health. But I would recommend that you do watch at least 10 minutes. And I hope you enjoy. Have a good one.
And in this game, I played against my dad. And yes, it went well. I won in the end. I got the black pieces. I just enjoyed slowly, with every move, getting a little bit better in the position, savouring my win. I played the Scandinavian defence. I don't really know what this variation is, but pushing the pawn was probably not that much of a good idea. But I thought it blocks the knight from its natural developing square.
White is definitely winning here. Because what I was hoping, because you know I love it, is they were taking the deep pawn and then we get a queen trade. Like, yippee, that's literally the best thing ever, but that cannot happen anymore. So I think I offered a queen trade a few different times here. After just me developing my knight, I offer another queen trade and another queen trade, but I can't do that anymore really. So I just put pressure on the knight, but I don't really because I would never take. So I delayed castling quite a bit here. And then yeah, as soon as I play, this was a inaccuracy or mistake. Either one, I'm losing a pawn because I get a queen trade in, but I would be losing a pawn at the same time. So that was a mistake from them. I played this move and it's just like, oh shoot, I've just completely lost the pawn in this situation. I realised that as soon as I moved my bishop and I'm winning. Probably not the best way to defend the pawn, but oh well. It works. And it allows me to push the pawn. And now, honestly, I'm quite a big fan of white's centre. And it's really quite annoying, so I was hoping for some sort of sequence going here when I did the bishop trade. I don't really know what I was going for actually. So I just traded to get some pieces off the board. If they took with the bishop, that would have been deadly. I left my king in the centre for way too long, and the whole time I was considering castling, and then it was just, at this point, I couldn't deal with my king in the centre. And my opponent's king in the centre would ultimately be the lead to his demise. So I just put pressure on the bishop really, and then they defend it. And there's probably a good line here, queen d6. And the engine says queen d6 here. The engine wants me to put my queen here, so that they would go. My dad would never go there though in this situation with his queen. It's just, what's the point? Like, I don't see it. I just don't see it. It's a really long line. Oh well, yeah, I was never gonna get any of that. But let's return to the game, and here we are. So at this point, I was going to reroute my knight to f4, but I didn't really realise that his knight was there and he could just take it and trade, and then if they did trade, then right centre was just super overwhelming, so I just never put my knight there until now. And then they traded, and I thought white centre was just really overwhelming here, and it was just like, oh shoot, that's not very good. Here, I really didn't want to trade.
Boys, can you tidy up the stuff, please?
I didn't put any of that stuff there. You put most of it there.
No, I didn't.
Okay, I don't know what is there. Can you be quiet? Shh.
Put the MZ.
No, I didn't put anything there. Be quiet.
So yeah, I really didn't want to take the pawn after that quick into a thing with my sister in the middle. I really didn't want to take the pawn. And the engine wants knight c6. And then bishop b2. Oh shoot, no, my bad. Oops. Bishop b2. Which would be here. And rook d8. Oh yeah, there's something there. No, there's not. I don't know why. I don't know why it would want to do that. But taking was like the only option I had here, and now I could tell he was just firing everything at me, and at one point there was a mate in 5 here, but I didn't see. So here I won 2 points of material in the rook, kicking out the bishop. And here I could tell I was completely winning. And then I lose my queen almost. The position is equal. The position is completely equal. And now I'm just completely winning. Why is that? What is their amazing move? The check. Yes. And after... and he does see that. But... for some odd reason, my dad decides he prefers bishops to rooks, and now I blunder the rook in the corner. No, I don't, but now I blunder the rook in the corner, but he doesn't take it. I see that, and he didn't even need to move his bishop. And he did tell me after the game that he misclicked after this. It was a really tough decision of whether to take with the bishop or the rook here. I decided with the rook. What would happen? He'd move his king out the way somewhere, and that would be the end of it. I'd have to move my rook back. He'd move the bishop, and I'd move the bishop out the way, and obviously to a better spot probably, but that would just be the end of it. So if I took with the bishop, then after he blunders a rook, I pressure on the other pawn as well. And the other thing is I could take the bishop with a discover check. Oh, and there's a mate in 2 here. What's the mate in 2? Bishop b5 check. What? Bishop f5, sorry. Bishop f5 check. King c1. So that is the only legal move. Oh, it is too. And then what's mate here? Rook h1. It's not protected there. Oh shoot! Not that. I'm stuck. It's this. Oh, I should have. I couldn't even see it with the game on, but they offer a pawn trade. Since I'm just up so much in material, I obviously trade. I give him a few checks, and then here I do blunder a rook. Wait, what should I have done here? Hang on. What should I have done here? Rook takes a4. Oh, rook c4. And then that's a check, and then I can save my rook. Oh shoot! I could have saved it, but all my advantage just almost gets thrown immediately. But then from this point onwards, I decided try and get all my pieces on light squares, my pawns are weaknesses, but I thought, now that all my pieces are in white squares, I can just focus on pushing the pawn, which my dad actually blocks, even though he's 200 rated. So I decide I have to get around, even though it's impossible
I'm a bathroom master.
to get around. Without letting them.
Oh no, it's not impossible because I can take the pawn, the b5 square. That's a weakness. Ah, shoot.
But if he moves his king, then it is impossible. I do move my rook to a white square, a dark square for a little bit. Marie, turn it down. Just because it's the only thing I can do, really. So he moves his bishop out of the way. And remember, he moved his bishop here. Because I would have moved it somewhere a little more active, because now it's just the bishop. Remember this, it's completely out of the game for the rest of the game. So here, I sack the pawn just to push it, and I realise, pushing that pawn is actually a mistake, really, because once I queen, the pawn is pinned. So I can just, once I move his king out the way, I can just take the pawn. And he expertly managed to get me to skewer his bishop too. And from here, it's just a simple road to checkmate. And you, Kalad, you kept on this torture. Anyways, because this is the long chess video that will hopefully get more than 2 views for once, I've got another game. And there's another interruption from my sister. Mari, can you please turn your right pad down? Thank you. By the way, my sister recently got a chess account, which is why...
Oi, hello.
What?
You're putting that in video, mate. You're putting that in...
The game you played against me.
Huh?
The game of chess you played against me.
Yeah.
Yeah? It's going to go on YouTube. You're going to be famous. You can be like the youngest chess player ever or something.
Really?
Yeah. Bearing in mind, she's new to chess and she's 6 years old. Here's my sister, Mars Bar, as her nickname. I just waved to her. Whoa. So I get the white pieces. I play e4, so I'm going a little easy on her, obviously. And she doesn't really understand opening principles, but I mean that's a goldsmith defense. It's a real opening and it's good. But I just get a nice center now, and she does the same on the other side. And then she pushes the pawn, which I don't know if she realizes is it, but that's actually a pretty good move. But I'm just completely fully developed here. So here, what I do is I just put pressure on the pawn and attack the. And I put pressure on a pin on the pawn on e7. So say he was to move the pawn, I'd take the queen. And if not, he pushes this pawn. And if she pushes this pawn, I just take the pawn. They take with the rook, and I can take with the bishop. Or they probably wouldn't take with the rook at all. But at least it ruins my pawn structure, and it's got to be the best move. So she actually does push the pawn in the end, and this sequence does happen, except because I'm going a little easy, I don't take the rook. And here, I was obviously just completely winning. And here, she played this move. And on this move, to be fair, I went into the other room, sat next to her and said, "There is so much wrong with this move, you have no idea." So instead of checkmating, I won the queen to be a little more fair. And she asked for a tip for the best move, and I said the best move was probably taking the knight, taking my knight, because that's forcing a knight trade before I take the queen. Because if I take the queen first, because if you push a pawn, as she did, say a line would go take, 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 or maybe even push the pawn, take, take,
take, take. But that's still equal, I'm pretty sure.
So instead we get take, 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 and I'm up 3 points. I'm up more than 3 points in material. Well, I would be. So here, now I was just like, okay, this be a bit, maybe even harsh, some would say. And no, I don't know. So here on this move here, I told her to move the bishop, and I explained to her why, because it was a skewer from my knight to my rook, actually, or it might have been an x-ray. I don't know which one it is really, but here I expertly defend the knight and attack the rook at the same time. And she does a king move. It's not actually that bad of a move, really. It's just it hangs a rook, but then it hangs a knight, and I had to tell her that the knight was hanging. So he was like, I'm just gonna play checkmate, complete checkmate. I'm just gonna move my queen around a few times until I get checkmate. And I had to tell her the rook was in the corner hanging. That was a misclick, moving my queen here though. I probably could have castled here, but as I said, I was playing checkmate, so I was just trying to line up my queen with my bishop. So when I went over the game with her earlier, I told her about the mate. So what did she do in the end? She moved her king here, which, I mean, it delays the checkmate, but I had to go over with this with her, because say she just moved the bishop out or moved the bishop somewhere, that's checkmate, and I had to tell her that, and I told her that after the game. But moving the king here, it's not particularly good, because then that's a forced mate in 2. So the best move here, and the only move here, is to obviously push the pawn here. It's literally the only move. And here variation would have maybe gone here, here, maybe sacking the queen. Nope. Okay, we don't do that. But the game does sadly end with this mate in 2. But it's not a bad effort from my new sister, who's new to chess. Next game.
You got like, yeah.
If you're wondering why there's so much background noise, it's because I'm in a hotel in Spain. So it's not very quiet, should I say? So this is a game I play against some rando. I play online. It's just an analysis for you to listen to and watch. So this was actually the first time I played some King's Indian variation or a Perk defense, but this is the King's Indian, really. But then, like when you look at the game, Perk defense, mainline, Australian attack, 4 BG, and I'm like, okay, chill out, mush. So I forgot how King's Indian works, and I ended up just completely losing the plot a little bit in this game. It was very on edge. Not one that I would like to really go over, but I've got to share the good and the bad, everything that happens in my journey to a GM. That will never happen. Although I never thought I'd get to 1,000, and I mean, look at me now. 1,042 days ago until I played this game, and now I'm not 1,000 anymore, but that's fine. I'm kidding, I'm still like 1,010, but like, it's a little bit close, and if you ask me. So I just lost the plot. I forgot how a King's Indian works. All I remember is king side attack, and I'm like, the king side is locked. I was like, the king side's locked. So I tried to maneuver my knights over, and I could have really unlocked the king side, really, because if I moved my knight to C5 here, say they just moved their rook back, I could have taken the pawn and then it would have been quite easy to unlock the centre really. If the knight moved, obviously, and it wasn't protected, but I had to target the pawn somehow. So I tried one variation to unlock it after giving a check. I should have traded pawns here, but for some reason I didn't. And then after a few jiggles about with my queen, I get back to trying to unlock the king side and launch an attack. They kick my queen out and move the bishop back. I move my knight here, and here is where stuff started to go downhill and they started completely winning. After a trade, the centre still isn't unlocked because my knight is in the way of all the pawns. And this was my last fatal attempt to unlock the centre, and it worked really. It worked really. So now I have 3 pawns on the king side going for an attack. So yeah, I spent like literally all my time calculating if I take, if I ignore, if I push. And then I after all the calculations I realised, yes, taking is definitely the best option. But you can't take. It's pinned because of the rook. And I realised, sugar. So the best option would be bishop g7, just to ignore it completely here. With the bishop here. And then that's the best option, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it says bishop g7. Definitely says bishop g7. But I decided to ignore it and blunder my knight because I forgot the pawn was pinned. And then they did that and it was like, oh, woof, I am so lucky. Moving my knight back was obviously the wrong option. King h8 was the right option here. Bishop takes f4 here. Oh, and then I could take back because the pawn's unpinned now. Yeah, that would have... Moving my king would have saved me a lot of trouble in future, but I just moved my knight back. And now I'm lost. But I think they did miscalculate with this trade, and I'm actually up in material. So I shift my queen over from the queen side to the king side to help defend. What should I have done here? That was probably some killer move. Rook f6. Here. What does this do? Rook f1. Rook f1 from here. How do they... Rook f1, that says up in the top right corner, doesn't it? That does say rook f1. Oh, 1 is up here. Here. Rook takes g6 plus. What? Rook h6. Check. Oh, wow, yes, I see now. I see, but none of that happens. And I actually end up with quite a large advantage by this endgame. Until I throw it away, because I just lose a knight straight up. Lose a bishop, obviously, straight up. And it's like, sugar. And it's all just moving back and forth. I probably could have done a draw here, moving it back and forth. But I decided to change things up because for some odd reason, I didn't want to draw. And then I blunder a rook. And it's like, sugar. And here, I saw mate in 1. I saw mate in 1 for them. Oh no, but it never was to be. Because I saw it, and it was like, no. Because here, then here, no, maybe not there, maybe even here. And they can't do that, because now I'm just completely winning. But say a variation would go, maybe... I don't know, they're completely winning, obviously. But there's nothing they can throw at me. There's nothing they can do. It's just like once I bring my rook here. Oops, once I get my rook in here. Maybe not there in specific, but it was salvageable. But I won this game actually, like surprisingly, on time. I
I won this game on time from this position here. I won on time. No, I didn't. From this position here. From this position here, I won on time. So, yeah, I looked at the clock and I was like, I was wiping a bit sweat off my brow and I was like, oh, phew, that was a horrible game. On to the next one. I've checked, I did actually lose this one. I had the black pieces, and I go for a Scandinavian defence. And we play the Mises Kochuk variation in the main line. And I always like to push my e-pawn forward after the Scandinavian. I like to push my c and e-pawns, and then bring my knights out. That is generally what I do. And then I look at my position, I have space. Look at that position, it's more closed. So, really, what would have helped is for me to trade my knights for their knights. That would have really helped in the position. Do some knight trades. But they trade a bishop for a knight, which is their weak piece for my weak piece. So, yeah. And I already make my first fatal error at point 1 in the game. Like, I just don't understand what I was even thinking with this move. And now my king is almost being walked forward to the centre. I had some plan here, but I forgot what it was. Yeah, I think I got a bit greedy here and thought, oh, free pawn. But now I can't move my bishop or my queen. So I thought, well, there must be some way to save this. So I calculated here variations like my knight, moving my knight to somewhere to try and save either my queen or my bishop. But I think the best, and then I realised suddenly the best way to get out of it is just to get out losing 2 points of material. So, but now I'm completely lost and they're completely winning. It was probably better to take with my queen here. Because if I took with the queen, my variation would go knight d6. Knight d6. I'm stupid. How do we get knight d6? Oh, here I would have probably traded, and after take, queen g4. How do you get queen g4? What? Why am I not on it today? I see. Queen g4. It's terrible. I've got to be honest, it's terrible. So, either way, I'm lost. So, for some reason, I trade rooks. But I do gain the open file. So, I lose a pawn for some reason. And then I throw the only thing I have left at them. And now I realise, oh shoot, the only thing I had left, I scuffed it up. I lost it. And here I resigned because that's what you do in these positions. Next game.
It's a lemonade, yeah.
Thank you. Can
Yeah.
you tell me myself that I need, please? I want you to tell me because it keeps on happening.
Thanks, Daddy. Can you guys be quiet because I'm recording,
I
please?
can't play without you.
Daddy?
Not for a second.
Okay.
What do you have to pay, don't you?
No, you have to do my passcode from my home passcode, I think.
Oh, this is to pay.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
That's fine.
Thank you. So this game was also against my dad. It was a rematch after the first game that I actually lost, which I will show you in a second. So I managed to win the rematch, and if I lost the rematch, I probably would have called for another rematch. Here it is. I got the white pieces, and my dad hasn't studied any openings, so it's just he doesn't know what he's doing really. So yeah, this is all book moves until I make the first non-book move from the Philodorf defense. I take the pawn, he takes back. It's not the best move really, because if you took with a knight, my plan is just out the window. But I get a queen trade, and I'm like, yippity doo dah. Taking with a knight is a mistake because if a knight takes e5 and he's just losing a pawn, which doesn't happen in the game surprisingly. Bishop d5, which is just a complete miss. And now he can move his knight back after overextending with some of the pawns and doing a move that I don't really understand the point in, but I don't get the free pawn anymore because it's defended two ways now and my knight isn't even there to attack it. So after developing and castling, a pawn move, trying to, I think probably attacking on the queen side, but I don't really know. And here, I really wanted to kick out the knight. I really wanted to trade the knight, because I really wanted to go bishop takes. I really wanted to say I don't know, the knight just moves. The knight just moves here. I really wanted to go here. Because I really wanted to fork the rooks. It was just my deepest desire, you know. Sadly though, I realised after trading for bishop for knight, I can't really do the fork anymore because the rook is out the way. But I put pressure on the pawn, and it's putting pressure on my knight is almost just asking me to take the pawn really. He can check me, but then he... Whoa, I'm so stupid, so stupid. No way I didn't take the rook here. Oh, there's no way I didn't take the rook here. So here I thought, my bishop and knight are hanging. Because I was up 3 points of material at this point because he didn't complete a trade with the knight. So I thought, is there a way to save them both? Yeah, knight e7 check. Oh, I thought it would have been the best move. Oh no, because here, you, after, say this, is taking the rook the best move. Knight takes g8, yeah it is. So you can fork the rooks, but I did it the other way, just because I just wanted to save them both rather than gain 2 points of material, which I could have done, but the rooks were just messing me up today, man. So now my pawns were really useless at this point, so I decided to traverse my pieces forward faster. We do a load of inaccurate moves, it happens. Yes, it happens. And then they put loads of pressure on these pawns. So I offer a pawn trade, losing a pawn to the trade, and I was aware of it. So I really didn't want to trade rocks here, but in the end I decided, I'm up in material, let's tear down the material. Aha, yeah. I thought this surely would have been a brilliant, but no, it keeps happening. It keeps declining my brilliant moves. Like, this is like the 5th game where I thought, oh yeah, brilliant, because I sacrificed a piece for a checkmate. But no. Is there a way for them to avoid mate in 2? Bishop g5. Bishop g5. Let's have a look. Where is g5? g5 is here. Yeah, that stops checkmate. But I thought, who doesn't take a blundered knight? Who doesn't take a blundered knight, right? Apparently my dad doesn't take a blundered knight, so I think he thought, Yolo doesn't blunder pieces, because I don't. Just by the way, I don't blunder pieces. It's just not the thing I do, kinda. I totally don't blunder pieces. So he knew something was up, but
he just moved his bishop wrongly. If he moved it back 1 square, all my entire plan would just been busted. And then I deliver the final blow. Checkmate. Insane stuff. Every day, guys. Hero man. You just gotta fix that. This was the original game against my dad that I lost. The game review says my dad had a higher accuracy because he won, but I honestly think even though he won, I had much better accuracy in the game. I was in a completely winning position, probably about +10 on the eval bar or something crazy like that. And then I blundered, made it one, but oh, sorry, that's a spoiler. Let's go. So, as I said, my dad doesn't really know openings. And I get a free pawn right off the bat. And this is like a Scholars kind of thing, except if they moved the queen all the way to h4, I would have been worried. So instead of what he did, moving it here, I would have been actually a little scared. I probably would have just, I don't really know what I would have done. I probably would have, I had to move my queen, it's surely the only way. But after doing this, surely your bishop would be on b4, not c5, really. The dark squared bishop, I mean, but like, okay, so I can just move my knight back, attacking the queen, and then I can push the pawn, attacking the bishop, but I do blunder that, so that's quite annoying. If I blocked with the bishop, some better stuff would have happened, but I didn't. So now I just kick at the bishop, so he blunders the bishop. So that happened. I thought maybe he thought he could take back with the queen, but he can't because there's pins. And maybe he thought I'd queen trade, which obviously I would the move after, because queen trading is awesome. So now he has an exposed king in the centre. No development at all, while I have 2 pawns pushed, not really in great spot. They're both isolated really. And I mean, knight is protecting one of them. And I have a knight out, as I just mentioned, because the knight is protecting one. But here I can develop while giving checks. The king is almost stuck on the back rank. I can just keep developing my bishops. So here I thought, I really didn't want to move my bishop down here, but I thought like, oh wow, look at that. It's a really cheeky move and it feels wrong. But then again, after blocking my bishop, it's just so right, you know. I give a check, bring my knight to the party, blunder a pawn, but it's all fine because we can give another check. I probably should have castled sometime soon. I thought, oh yay, fork, but then they just get the rook as well, so that's honestly smart on my father's behalf. So, and I can't even castle anymore, so now it's in a bit of a pickle for me up here, and then they blunder the knight. I'm sorry, I'm going fast. It's just, if you're still watching, which you're probably not, then like, you probably want to get the video over soon, and you'll probably click off after hearing me say this. I'll just move my bishop back, move my king back here, leave a free pawn with check, and now the position, I should like win like really soon. I mean, obviously after blundering a rook, blundering too much of material, that's when I do it. But like, obviously, I blunder mated 1. Just sorry guys, did I go a bit far? So knight c7 check is the best move. Oh yeah, because you just fork the rook. And it's just like, oh yeah, of course that's the best move. Oh wow. But I thought the only move here was to take the pawn. I thought that was the only move. And here I thought, What was I thinking here? I thought, get out of the X-ray. I thought here, get out of the X-ray. I move my bishop out of the X-ray, attacking the rook at the same time. A brilliant move. And I hung mate in 1. I just completely forgot about this knight on g4. And I completely forgot it was there. And I thought, oh, if rook comes down to back rank, I can just surely escape with my king. If this rook goes down to the back rank on d7, I can surely just escape with my king here. But I can't. Hang on, I'm just wondering, in this position, why does the engine want knight c3? Where is c3? c3 is there. Knight c3. Oh yeah, because it stops the rook from going down. But then surely after you move it over, king f1. Oh yeah, and you just escape. Oh, okay, that was interesting. And one more game I think we'll do. I might have already done this game in the video again, but I don't think I have actually. I play the Scandinavian defense because it's the only one of two I know. And like I said, I like to move my pawn to e4. Pin the knight, but it's not actually pinned. And then I kind of to turn it into a Sicilian almost. Well, if the two pawns are on f5 and e5, it's a Sicilian in my eyes for some reason. Hang on, I'm skipping ahead a lot. What's going on now? So after I trade the knight for the bishop, I move my queen here. I realise, oh shoot, they have a very dangerous looking position with a bishop pair on the c file. And not much development, but all I have is my queen just running about, avoiding queen checks. Well, no, not queen checks, checks on my queen. So here they just keep attacking this pawn and then at this point I realise, I just can't be bothered trying to attack this pawn anymore. And push it, which is a complete mistake, because I lose the rook in the corner, which I am only just seeing now, and I am very proud of myself for seeing it so quickly now. But they didn't see it, and even if they didn't take the rook in the corner, then it's still like that. But I managed miraculously not to lose any material points, I don't think. No, I lost a pawn, but the rook isn't even trapped in the corner anymore. I can still castle, although the rook is in my way, which was annoying me quite a bunch throughout the game. So I was losing for so long in this game, man. So here I thought, I don't know what I was even thinking here. I think a better move might have been, no, I just straight up, don't know, I forgot what I was thinking. Why didn't he move the bishop? Why didn't he move the bishop? Why didn't he move the bishop? I don't know. Why didn't he move the bishop? Why did he move his knight there? Why didn't I take the bishop? Only now that my rook was provoked, I took the bishop. Oh wow, that was a bit stupid. But now I'm winning. I'm up in material and I'm winning. So surely it would have been an easy win from this point forth. And then I make the biggest mistake of my life. I think castling here would have been an amazing move. Yeah, castling queenside check would have been an amazing move. But I thought, oh shoot, I'm going to lose either my rook or my bishop. And I was like, oh no, because I wasn't looking at the right side of the board. And then I do this move. And I just blunder the bishop completely instead. And now I decide to trade for some odd reason. And now I see castling somehow. I get my right knight in the game. And here I realise Oh shoot, I think I might be winning. His rook and his bishop are completely useless. He can't move either of them. Well, he can move his rook up and down, but... So here I decide I can go here. Because if he takes my knight, I can take his rook. So it's kind of a fork with the rook and the pawn. He has to move the rook somewhere like that, yeah. I take the pawn. And here, I'm winning. I'm just winning. I'm just straight up winning. And then he manages to unpin himself. But I put pressure on the rook and the bishop. So he has to either save the rook, which he doesn't really have to do. Probably just letting the rook die would be a good move, really. So it's the engine prefers rook e4, which would be rook e4 here. And then c7, pawn here. And can you take the pawn? Why wouldn't you take the pawn? I don't know, but oops, my bad. And then king d5, which would be here. And then after that, oh, I don't really know what. Oh well, that's what happened. And then they just completely just blundered the rook, just completely out there. And then I swear I lost this game. Hang on, let me just double check.